Welcome back, Rat fans. It's me, the Evesham Gamer, Teg. Didn't tell you that one last video, did I? It doesn't matter anyway, because everyone fucking knows. Hope you're all well. So, this is a somewhat of a video response to Roast Beef 3000. Our friend down under, who basically asked me if I was going to do, or I should do a video on all the Sega Saturn games that I own. Now, I've done that a while ago. Sort of, but it was all kind of Sega videos in one, sort of Sega systems in one video. At least for the then systems I had not quite so many games for, or at least not many. And I still don't. I got more than I had. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you off all my Sega Saturn games. I want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to Danny Combe. Well, that's DANNYCOMB on YouTube, fuck me, YouTube, on eBay. He done me he was really good over the issue with BC Racers, where I'd basically mentioned, that maybe you should be a bit more careful with your description. And he come back and said, "Is there anything else in my list you want? I can maybe let you have a little bit off and what have you." And he did, and I'll get to that game in a bit. But thank you very much, Danny. Really appreciate that. That's fantastic. In fact, you said it was a bit scuffed, this game. I don't believe it's that scuffed. But you are very honest about it. Top eBayer, absolutely. So that's Danny Combe, all one word. Or Danny, you could say Danny Combe. Yeah, out to you, mate. Thank you very, very much. And I think it was you that subscribed after I said you should subscribe to my channel. Bit of selfish fucking promotion going on there. Anyway, let's have a look then, shall we? Let's just see what we've got for Mr. Roast Beef 3000. Okay, well, I've got the only two games that I've got doubles of, a Sega Rally and Virtua Fighter 2. So here we go, Virtua Fighter 2, the classic. I still love that. I like the actual Xbox 360 version, not the one that's playing now, because that's Guardian Heroes behind me on the Xbox 360. But, yeah, I like the Xbox 360 port of Virtua Fighter 2. It is the Saturn version as far as I'm aware, but obviously in HD. So probably the definitive way to play it, but still, it can't beat it on the good old Saturn. Next up is actually the game that I got from that Danny Combe. That is Bubble Bobble, also featuring Rainbow Islands. Now, from how I understand it, this particular pack are unfinished versions of Rainbow Islands and Bubble Bobble. I forget what versions they're based on, but they're not the originals. So it's a little bit lackluster and people weren't overly happy about it, from what I understand. But I was very chuffed to get this. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see it? Seeing as I've been talking about that Danny, yeah, it's the thing you hate with bloody Saturn games is that they fall apart, really. Haven't played that yet, but I'm going to be playing that after I've made this video. Next up, we've got Firestorm Thunderhawk 2. I don't recall ever playing the first Thunderhawk. What a knob. It's on the Mega CD. Yeah, I need to get back into this, actually. And this is a cheap one. This won't cost too much for you to pick up. Next one, probably the worst of the ports of Destruction Derby. Obviously better on the PlayStation 1, but still, not bad, but has not aged well. It's not aged well on the Sega Saturn. It's nice to say, though, or nice to see, that there was a certain homage paid to this game through the game Wreckfest, which is on the Xbox and Xbox One in the series, PlayStation 4 and 5, and there's a sequel to that game coming out, Wreckfest 2. So it's nice to see a game recently, like a revival in banger racing, basically. So yeah, not bad, not bad. I prefer the PlayStation 1 version. There you go. A bit more of an uncommon game. That's Skeleton Warriors. Yeah, it's got a nasty rip on the back of that one. But nah, she's all complete as well. I've only played this once. Got this many years ago. Some guy sold me a load of Saturn stuff, and this was in there. Don't know what it is, what sort of game it is really. Fully rendered 3D characters and full motion video sequences. That's just as we were coming out of the FMV stuff and the Sega Mega CD back in the sort of the mid to late 90s. So next one, King of Fighters 95 with the fucking car. I think this is the, is it the RAM or the Rock? Oh, I can't fucking remember. You think I'd know working in IT. I don't have a manual with this one, but this was, yeah, I mean, ages ago when I got this. This was actually in a jumble sale. I think I paid like £2 for it, not for the cartridge. Cartridge wasn't. I had to buy that separately, but even that cost me like only about £3 on eBay back in the day. That's got to have been around about 2004, maybe. So I've had that since then, and it is a fantastic port. A lot of these 2D fighters, the Saturn is the best system to play 2D fighters on, without doubt. I mean, other than the Dreamcast. But then with the Dreamcast, you need to get a better pad, because that controller's awful for playing fighting games. As I said about games, I've got two of Sega Rally, the classic Sega Rally. If you haven't got a Saturn and you don't own this, why don't you own it? Everyone should have at least one copy. I don't know how I ended up with two. I believe this one. I think it was this one. Got from, if you remember anyone from that area in Aldershot in Hampshire. Some argue it's Surrey, but it's not. It's Hampshire. It was a shop called the Kart Club, and I got that from the Kart Club for about £2, I think, back when it was just before it was shutting down. I think it was probably about 6 months before they shut down. So yeah, I missed that shop. Aldershot used to be a fucking great place. They used to have these other cheap second-hand shops that were basically the army boys there. They used to sell off all their stuff, you know, and there was just loads and loads of Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Master System, NES. At the time, you name it, there was loads of it in dirt cheap prices. And I just wish at the time I'd bought more when I was there, but alas, I didn't. Next one is Darius Gaiden. Now, I said this in one of my previous videos about over a year ago. There is an issue with this one, and that issue is, not that it's such a great shoot 'em up, but you should be able to see this. There's a crack from the middle out to it. Nasty. So if any of you that watch this know of a disc-only version of the PAL version of Darius Gaiden, please let me know, because I need to replace that. I really do. But I'm not going to be held to ransom for it. So I think they come up, but very rarely. But other than that, that is in relatively nice condition for what it is. I had to buy the Japanese version as well, just because that happened, and that was 2015, I think. Whether it was bought like that, I don't know. Manx TT Superbike. I'm not a big fan of that. I liked it in the arcade, but I don't think the port is overly brilliant for it. But it is what it is. Must have a go on that one again soon, because I haven't played it for ages. There's that other copy, bit more nasty, of Virtua Fighter 2 there. Sega Touring Car Championship. James at Game Zone Burberry did something about this last year, where you can change the clock, and it gives you basically like Christmas levels, which is really great. I mean, things like that don't happen anymore. This is starting to see an increase in prices, but there's a trick, there's a knack to playing this game. It's not as straightforward as Sega Rally. There's a bit more to it than that. I did see a video once about it, but don't let that put you off. The original Virtua Fighter, this says it was from Chill Out Games. Yes, I forget, that's the one with the handyman in it, the little hand as a mascot. Don't know when I got this. I didn't buy it from them, I know that much, but yeah, not a bad port of the arcade. I think Virtua Fighter Remix did a better job, but still it was impressive at the time of when it came out. Virtual on Cyber Troopers. Look at that. There, I talk about a thing, Mr. Roast Beef 3000. There you go, Sega Aussie Soft. That's definitely come from Australia. Well, it quite clearly says there, SegaAussieSoft.com.au. Virtual on Cyber Troopers has seen a bit of a resurgence recently in price. A bit more. It's been going up quite slowly, but surely it's been going up. I should have got it out really, but I've got the Virtual on twin sticks that were from Japan. And there is a video, one of my earliest videos, of me actually playing that game. If you want to go and look at it, I might even link it at the end of this video. But I love Virtual On. If you don't know that by watching this channel, something wrong with you. The only physical game that I don't have in the Virtual On series is Virtual On Oratorio Tangram on the Dreamcast. I don't know if there was a PAL version of that. I mean, I know there was an Xbox 360 and PS3 version, but in the arcade and PSN respectively. But I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps you can tell me if there was. I know there was Japanese, obviously, but I don't know if there's a PAL version. Next one, Virtua Racing. There's a very interesting documentary on YouTube, if I remember to link it in the description below, of the making of this game. It was basically a ground up game built because Sega wouldn't give the source code or something over to Time Warner Interactive. So it's admirable for what it is, but it's not bad. It's not the definitive way to play the game. I think that's from the PlayStation 2 Sega Ages collection or the Nintendo Switch on the Nintendo Store, whatever it's called. The Switch version is probably the definitive way to play it. But second to that would be the PlayStation 2 version, I think. Sonic R, this is a bit like Marmite, I think you'd agree. Some people love it, some people don't. I find it charming for what it is. Personally don't like playing it because it's just too clunky, but it's a piece of history, and you know, there was never a proper Sonic game, as you know, ever released on the Sega Saturn. Poor Vavor. Crypt Killer, a light gun game, where you just shoot basically sort of undead things like skeletons and fucking mummies and things like that. It's not a bad light gun game. There wasn't many really bad light gun games on the Sega Saturn, I'd say, but it's certainly not as good as the Virtua Cop series. So there you go. Street Racer. I didn't even notice that before, but the back of it's got the off the back. I didn't even notice that, but it is what it is. I'm not really bothered, to be fair. Street Racer, this version of Street Racer is the definitive version of Street Racer. Second would be Super Nintendo. I think Mega Drive will come in third. Nice little kart racer, that one. That one, I believe you get the extra character, the rabbit, in it as well. So that's always a plus. Parodius, depending on which way you want to call it. Very, very, very unique Konami shooter, as a lot of Konami shooters as well, like Gradius, for example. Parodius is absolutely a shoot 'em up you've got to play because it's so fucking bizarre. It really is. I don't know what more to say about it, really. It's a fantastic game. And if you're a collector, you most definitely need to have this in your library. The one that's on the background, this is the actual Saturn version. So I've got Guardian Heroes. Was in mint condition when I got it, but then it got a little bit of water damage, which is a bit rough there. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It is complete. I believe. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice and complete. Disc is in fantastic shape, I have to say. It's not really one I want to ever sell. It's got too many nostalgic memories for me. I never really played it with anyone else, but it's just, I love that game, and hence it's on the 360. It's got to be done. This one was from James at Game Zone Burberry with gift ages ago. A Golden Axe and Duel. This is a repro. So I use my Pro Action Replay to enable. Oh, sorry, was it the? There's another cartridge. I can't remember what it's called now. James told me about it. I got it. It's not Saru. It's whatever it is. It's something else. But I got that so I could actually play it, and I quite like it. It doesn't do anything new in the fighting area, but it's nice to see, you know, something a little bit different. I think you'll agree. A bit of a weird one here. There's two of them, but they're not actually the same. And the reason for that being, I think it's, which we'll get lucky here. Right. No, that's the correct one. Buster Move 2 arcade edition. This one I got from CEX in Evesham, and it was sold as Buster Move 2 arcade edition. However, the disc is actually Buster Move 3. So I'm looking for a case for this, and then I'm looking for a disc only version of Buster Move 2 to put that into this. So there's the story there. Actua Soccer Club Edition. Yeah, it's featuring all Premiership clubs. I don't think I've ever played this, to be fair. Maybe I did back in the day, but it's a football game. That's soccer. Need for Speed. The original Need for Speed. Yeah, nice big fat box there. I mean, EA did that awful lot of that. I don't know what they were doing, why they had to do that. I mean, it just fucks up your bloody collection when you got it up there. But yeah, not a bad racer. It's certainly better, even though it's the first one. Better. Oh no, I was thinking of Test Drive then. Test Drive, the new Test Drive. Nah, I'm completely wrong there. Forget it. I'm not going to go into any more about it. Nice little racer, not too bad. Which kind of brings me on to another EA game, Magic Carpet. Find this one. It was impressive when it first come out, but it ain't anymore. But I find the controls really difficult. I think this is probably much better played on the PC where it first came out. But when it did come out, especially on the PC, it was highly rated. Highly rated. I can't speak for the Saturn version, but yeah, there you go. We want to be free. We want to be free, and we want to get loaded. Loaded. Yeah, I don't know much about this other than it seemed I played a little bit of it, but it kind of reminded me a bit of Chaos Engine. And it's got featuring music from Pop Will Eat Itself. Do you remember them? Do you remember them? Pop Will Eat Itself. Not bad band. I can't remember the name of the song, but I remember them. Part of the big grunge scene back in the day, that sort of thing. Then we got Theme Park, probably the better version other than the PC of it, or the best version other than the PC. Theme Park's great. The one thing I remember about this game is setting the roller coaster speed too high and watching them fly off. And the most famous toilet in the world, the Boggy Crapper. So, and not to mention putting more salt on the fries, make the kid buy more drink, add more caffeine to the drink, make them fucking run around at light speed. And if you add too much fat, I think it is to the chips and stuff, they end up puking up everywhere, which is funny. So yeah, great game. Love Theme Park. Wipeout. Boy, done one of these recently on a VR, effectively, or game challenge to Retro Red Steve. Not as good as the PlayStation 1 version. Gonna say it outright. I've said it before, but still worthy to be in your collection. Next one up, getting quite hard to get now. I don't think it's the worst game in the series. I certainly don't at all. And I think it's quite underrated, to be fair. That's Street Fighter the movie. Nice condition, this one. Picked that up, as I probably already said before, from Ben at RetroSect. A very good price. So, but again, it's another different fucking case. You know, how many different cases? I mean, I think about 3 or 4, maybe 5. I think there's 4 variations of cases for the Sega Saturn. Next up, Darius 2. Great arcade conversion. Great arcade conversion. And once again, we got some Aussie soft going on. G'day, mate. Chuck another shrimp on the Barbie. This is a great shoot 'em up. And it's the best version outside the arcade that there is. Absolutely. There's a little something you can do with this. You can play multiple monitors with it, I think, as well on the Saturn version. So nice. A cheaper version of Darius, or the Darius series, but it's still not overly cheap. Tomb Raider. So again, I think the PlayStation 1 port is better than the Saturn version. The Saturn version is quite janky, but still, it was nice to see a game that was so popular on the PS1 be on the Saturn. I'm sure someone said this came out first on the Saturn. Could be wrong. Drop a comment below. Tell me if I'm wrong. Correct me. One of the greatest Street Fighters there are. Street Fighter Alpha 2. I'm after Warrior's Dreams as well. I still haven't picked that one up, but I played a lot of this. I remember a few people I used to play with my mate's house quite a lot. We used to have a lot of matches on this. Great arcade conversion again, because the Saturn's a fucking beast for arcade 2D beat 'em ups conversions. Sega Ages Volume 1, which features Afterburner 2, Space Harrier, and Outrun. All faithful, if not as good as the arcade conversions that are out there, the best you can get, or ports of the arcade. The Japanese version apparently has is it a 60 hertz mode or something? So probably better getting that if you've got the opportunity to do so. But still well worth picking up for the nostalgia on these ones. Absolutely great representations of the arcade. Another EA one, FIFA Soccer 96. Not much more to be said about that than what it is. It's FIFA 96 on the Saturn. Apparently it features new virtual stadium. Technology allows you to play from unlimited camera angles. Yeah, it's FIFA. It's FIFA. Next one, Virtua Cop 2. Probably the best, I would say, other than another one which I'm going to show you in a moment. Light gun game on the Saturn, but this is probably the one that everyone remembers the most for light gun games on the Saturn. Fantastic light gun game. Fighters Megamix, probably the best fucking beat 'em up on the Sega Saturn, I think, for variety at least. What Sega did here was fantastic. This is probably the one fighting game out of anything you need to have if you've got a Sega Saturn. I'm still playing, unlocking a few characters on this. I want to unlock Meat, I think it is, and the AM2 pineapple, fucking hell, coconut tree. So yes, you can fight as a coconut tree in it. Really weird. So yeah, really chuffed to have that one, and it's not expensive. It's not hard to get. So again, you owe yourself if you haven't got it. I'll just go through. There's a booklet, another Fighter 2 booklet. I'll just go through the disc. A couple more physical games, but I'll just go through the discs I've got here. So I haven't got a box copy of Daytona USA Shock Horror. And I've got the manual, and I've got Sega Flash Volume 3, which has got some demos on it. So Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition, Virtual On, Tomb Raider, and Sega Worldwide Soccer 97, with some videos of Fighting Vipers, Virtua Cop 2, Dark Savior, Knights, Mr. Bones, and Bug 2. I've got Jonah Lomu Rugby, disc only. Didn't know where that came from. There's a disc, Daytona USA. I have got, which I should have said really in the first place. Oh, actually, you know what? There's a lot more. It's actually the Japanese stuff I should have mentioned. Let's pop these out, because I can't just say I got fucking that and then. Well, I think that's it. There is one other loose PAL game I've got here somewhere, and I thought it was here. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we'll carry on. Look at that in a second. Got this from James at Game Zone Berberin, but you can't really play it properly. You need a RAM cartridge. And that's Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Appreciate the gift, James, but it really isn't much use to me. I'm just thinking out and a look here. It was here somewhere. There it is. There she is. There she is, boy. To be sure. Right, ta-da. Got there in the end. Mortal Kombat 2. I've only got the disc for it. Don't know quite how that came to be, but I'm glad I got it. You know, can't really complain. Next up, yeah, best version of NBA Jam you can get. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Wow, this is just a must if you can get this. There's a few copies on CEX available. This was a CEX lottery for me, actually, to be fair. I don't quite know how I managed to get such a good copy of this. Nice and complete as well. I've been playing through this, and I love the fact that all you can play as a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And what's his name? What was it? It was no, fucking hell. Yeah, his mate. I don't know his name now, but he's in it. Right, as for the last physical PAL version of games I've got, House of the Dead. Absolute fucking banger. It ain't as good as the arcade, but it is very faithful to the arcade. Again, I got so lucky with this. We've got the original Sega stick on it. So lucky for this. 2015. Apart from a tiny little bit damage there on the plastic case, I paid the impressive sum of £7.50 for that. Don't go and look for it online, because you'll find you'll get a heart attack from that, and you don't want one of those. So, right, let's finish off with the Japanese stuff, shall we? I think, I don't know, I've been over these before. I'm not sure what this one is. I've actually done videos on these, and I had the same problem before when I went over these. You tell me. I can't remember what it's called now, but we might get to it in a minute. It might just pop up on the other one, because I've got a different version of it as well. Next one, James, again at Game Zone Bourbon, told me about this. It doesn't have the back cover, doesn't have the manual. Oh no, it has got the manual. It's got the manual, but that's it, and the game, and that is layer section. You can get that on the PS4 and 5, Xbox One, Switch, Xbox Series under I think it's Layer Section and Galactic Attack collection. So have a look at that if you want, or just emulate it. But great shoot 'em up, great shoot 'em up. What we've got here: Find Love 2, the prologue. I mean, some crazy guy I met near Uxbridge back in 2017, maybe 2016, maybe a bit earlier. He was some weird comic book guy, had cameras outside his door, and it's fucking weird. I've talked about this before. He had a load of fucking Japanese Saturn stuff. I just took a lot, which is like this one here. Welcome to Pia Carrot 2. Dual, I don't know, is it dual CD game? Yes, it is. But in lovely condition. Still got all the little proper stickers, proper Sega Saturn stickers. Lovely. And we've got oh man, okay, this isn't Saturn Bomberman. This is this is Saturn Bomberman. I think this is Saturn Bomberman. There's two versions of it. Anyway, so I think that's Saturn Bomberman. Because it's cheaper to have the Japanese version. Then we've got Clockwork Knight, Pepper Chuchu's Adventure. Pepper Chuchu? Yeah, Pepperucho's Adventure. Again, cheaper to have the Japanese version. Then we've got, like I mentioned earlier, Darius Gaiden, the Japanese version. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That was Saturn Bomberman. This is Bomberman Fight, I believe. So yeah, different sort of isometric version of have a look. Isometric version of Bomberman. All right, this was from James from Game Zone Bourbon. Was a popular guy on this at the moment in this video, because well, he is a Saturn man. He loves Saturn. It's his first console, and he sent me this. It's a repro of Initial D. So Initial D is somewhat of a driving game. I've had a quick go on it. Didn't play it too much. Recreated the car itself in Forza Horizon 5. It's about as far as I got. The next one we've got is Incredible Toons, which is based in the Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins universe. It's a puzzle game. I can't get I just can't figure it out because of all the Japanese. I just can't figure it out. So a bit stuffed there, really. Don't know what this one is because there is no English. But it looks like it's a puzzle game, a bit like Columns by the looks of it. So there you go. I'll have to fire this up because I don't think I've ever played it, so I can see exactly what it is. Right, here's that other one that yeah. Without looking for image searching, I don't know what it's called, but that's the other one of it. So it's like a space RPG, something like that. Then we've got the yes, nice. This is the Paradius Deluxe Pack. Okay, Japanese one. It's actually better than the one that I've got for PAL. I think it is. No, this isn't the Paradius Deluxe Pack. I think this is Pop and Twimby Deluxe Pack, something like that. Can't remember now. damn Japanese, or damn me for not knowing or understanding Japanese. So yeah, there's that. And the final one, okay, I think this is Galaxy for a Line Remix. I believe it is Galaxy for a Line Remix. Never played it. Nice and complete. Galaxy for a Line Remix. Fucking, just some of these are just in epic condition. I know Retro Import Gamer would like these, I think, because they're import games. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that is Galaxy for a Line Remix. There you go. There you go. I think that is it. I don't think there's any more Saturn stuff. So out to you, Mr. Roast Beef 3000. There you go. That's what I have. Okay, so I hope you found something there interesting. To everybody else, thanks for watching. You got any thoughts? Got any questions? Got any comments? Drop them below in the comment section, obviously. I wish you all the best for the rest of your day. Okay, so take care. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.